Dear students, welcome to ninth class biology. So today we are going to study a new chapter. Chapter name is transportation in plants and circulation in animals. So in this chapter we will study about how water and minerals they are transported from root to leaf. Then how food is translocated all different parts of the plant. Then what is circulatory system, what is the structure of heart, and what are the different types of blood vessels, what are the components of blood. All those things we will cover in this chapter. Okay, so first of all, organisms, living organisms may be unicellular or multicellular. So multicellular, which means they are made up of many cells. So each cell need oxygen and nutrients. Okay, they need supply of oxygen and nutrients, otherwise cell cannot survive, or they cannot maintain life. Okay, so the nutrient, which means glucose, by breakdown of glucose, uh, energy is releases. Utilizing that energy, cells they can survive. Then how the supply of these oxygen and nutrients that occur in these multicellular organisms. For example, multicellular organism, we can take plants. Okay, plants. In case of plants, they synthesize their own food by photosynthesis. For photosynthesis, what they need carbon dioxide and also water. So from soil they take water. Okay, so from root they absorb water by using root, and from this root water and minerals they are transported. So they are transported into leaf. These water and minerals they are transported with the help of a long pipe-like structure that is called xylem tissue. So xylem tissue present in plants, they transport water and minerals. Then after photosynthesis, food is prepared, and this food is translocated into different parts of the plant by another tissue that is called phloem. Okay, phloem tissue. So xylem and phloem tissue in plants, they transport water and minerals and food materials all over the uh, plant, all over the plant parts. Okay, transport, which means carry anything from one place to another, that is transport. In case of multicellular organism, for example animals, what animals also, they also show transportation. They also need oxygen and nutrients. Okay, so the transportation in animals occur with the help of circulatory system. This circulatory system consists of heart and blood vessels and blood. With the help of circulatory system, they distribute oxygen and nutrients, and they into the cells, and they take excretory or waste materials from this waste, and these waste materials are removed by the help of this circulatory system. So in this chapter we will study about transportation in plants and also circulatory system of animals. Okay, so first of all, transportation in plants. Transporting plants. So the materials like water and minerals, how these materials are transported into cell and out of the cell, or from one cell to another cell. That's a mechanism we are going to study. Okay, so the materials they are transported in and out of the cells by diffusion and active transport in plants. So in plants the materials are transported by diffusion and active transport. Okay, so the materials into the cell and materials from out of the cell, they are transported by diffusion and active transport. So we will study what is meant by diffusion, what is meant by active transport, how water is transported from one cell to another cell, how minerals are transported from one cell to another cell. uh, these things are we are going to cover next. The materials, they are transported in and out of the cells in plants by the method diffusion and active transport. So what is diffusion? Diffusion, which is defined as the movement of molecules in liquid and solids from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration without utilization of energy. So what is diffusion? Diffusion, which means it is a movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. So you can see here one plant cell. Okay, this condition before diffusion. So outside the cell, the region that is outside the cell, this molecule concentration is very high. You can see more number of molecules outside the cell, but inside the cell the concentration of molecule is very less. That means number of molecule is very less. So outside the cell concentration is very high, inside the cell concentration of molecule is very low. So what happens here? Here diffusion takes place. So from a region of higher concentration to lower concentration, to a region of lower concentration, molecules are moved. Okay, so that is called diffusion. So after diffusion, you can see here the concentration inside the cell, the molecule, the concentration of molecules inside the cell also equal to the concentration of molecules found outside the cell. Okay, so this is called diffusion. So it is a passive process. Diffusion is a passive process. Why it is called passive process? Here, for the movement of molecules, energy is not utilized. Okay, so that's why it is a passive process. So what is diffusion? Movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration without utilization of energy, that is called diffusion. Okay, so molecules are transported in plants in and out of the cell by diffusion without utilizing energy. So diffusion is a passive process. So clear about diffusion? So next method of transport of material is found in plants, that is active transport. Active transport simply means here the movement of molecules we need energy. Okay, so what is active transport? Active transport, which means movement of molecules from lower concentration to higher concentration utilizing energy. Okay, so here active transport utilize energy to pump molecules against concentration gradient. Against concentration gradient. Concentration gradient simply means concentration difference. Okay, so here you can see cell membrane. This is the cell membrane. On in this cell membrane, membrane bound proteins are present. Okay, this is the outside the cell and this is the inside the cell. So inside the cell concentration of molecules is very high. Okay, so inside the cell concentration is very high and outside the cell concentration is very low. So from here, from the region of lower concentration to region of higher concentration, that means against concentration gradients, molecules are transported with the help of membrane bound proteins. Okay, but here these membrane bound proteins, they utilize energy or ATP to pump these molecules. So these membrane bound proteins are also called pumps. Okay, so what happens to you, what you can see here, the molecules, they are transported with utilizing energy with the help of membrane bound proteins or pumps into higher concentration region. Okay, so active transport utilize energy and it pump molecules against concentration gradient from lower concentration to higher concentration. So that is called active transport. So the major difference between active transport and diffusion, that diffusion in diffusion energy is not required for movement of the molecule, and active transport uh, energy is required. In diffusion, molecules are transported from higher concentration to lower concentration, but here active transport, molecules are transported from lower concentration to higher concentration. Okay, and this transport, active transport, is also called uphill transport. Uphill uphill transport, because the molecules are transported from lower concentration to higher concentration. Okay, so they need energy. Next one, osmosis. What is osmosis? Osmosis also a passive process like diffusion, or you can say it is a kind of diffusion. So in osmosis, the water molecules or solvents, they transport or they move from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration through a semi permeable membrane. This is semi permeable membrane. Okay, so osmosis, which means movement of solvent or water molecules from the region of higher concentration to region of lower concentration through semi-permeable membrane until equilibrium is attained. Equilibrium means both sides become, the number of the concentration of molecules become equal at the both sides. That condition is called equilibrium. Okay, so that is osmosis. That means molecules, water molecules or solvents, they move from higher concentration to lower concentration through semi-permeable membrane until equilibrium is attained. So for example, here 10 molecules of water, that is the concentration of water molecules here, and here the concentration of water molecule is 3, suppose, and there is a semi-permeable membrane. So from higher concentration to lower concentration, that means from 10 to 3 water molecules are moves. Okay, so till what time? Till both sides become equal concentration. So for example, here the water concentration become 5 and here also water concentration become 5. So both sides become equal concentration. So osmosis stops. That is osmosis. So osmosis is a passive process. Here the movement of water molecules, energy is not required. Okay, so osmosis. So once again, what is osmosis? Movement of water molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane until equilibrium is attained. The next term we are going to study plasmolysis. So what is meant by plasmolysis? Plasmolysis, for example, you take a highly concentrated solution and to this solution you put plant cell. So what is going to happen? Plasmolysis takes place. So water moves out of the cell and the shrinkage of cell membrane away from the cell wall. So this is a normal plant cell and this is the plasmolyzed cell. So if you put a plant cell in a highly concentrated solution, the protoplasm shrinkage or the cell membrane which is separate from the cell wall of the plant and the protoplasm shrinks. Okay, so that is called plasmolysis. So if you put vegetables in highly concentrated solution, you can see, you can observe that shrinkage of vegetables. So that indicate plasmolysis took place. So that is plasmolysis. What it is? It is a water moves outside the cell. So because of it, shrinkage of cell membrane away from cell wall takes place or shrinkage of protoplasm takes place. That is called plasmolysis. Next term, imbibition. So what is imbibition? You might have seen that the seeds, they germinate. If we pour water, the seeds, they try to germinate. How they can germinate if we pour water? So actually the mechanism is imbibition. So imbibition, which means this is a type of diffusion in which a solid absorbs water and get swelled up. Suppose this is a seed and this seed which absorb water and which swell up and which try to germinate. Okay, so you can see in the case of dry grapes, Okay, if you put these grapes in water, then later you can see those grapes they swell up. So that means imbibition. So imbibition, it is a type of diffusion. Water is absorbed by a solid substance, and that solid substance become swell up. And if there is no diffusion, seedlings cannot germinate from the soil. So it is very important for case of seedlings for their germination.